Hello RSU faculty, this is your instructional designer Troy, and in this video I'm going to be walking you through the process of backing up and archiving your fall sections to prepare for the spring term. Let's take a look. Now in order to do this strategically, we want to put a plan in place, and the first thing is, what course are we wanting to move into either our master template that we have, or we are wanting to move into the spring term itself. Now, if we are lead faculty, that means we do have the masters to these courses. So that means that we were the content creator of those courses, and we do have that master shell. That is the one shell that we want to move the content from the fall section into. Now, if we don't have a master and we have our own content, whether we taught an online course or an on-ground course, we want to move our fall section into the spring section. We want to be able to create that archive file. Now, I'm going to walk you through the process on creating the archive file, and depending on how you're going to do this, putting it into your master course or into your spring term depends on what you want to do with this archive file. So let's take a look at archiving our courses. So the first thing that we want to do is locate the course that we are wanting to use as a foundation for our spring course. So whether that is a course that we have been editing and putting content into throughout this entire fall semester, or we are wanting to use our master shell, the shell that our fall courses were created out of, we want to navigate to that course. And in order to create this archive file, we want to look at the very top of the course under course content. We do have an ellipsis over here on the right-hand side. We want to select that, and we want to say export course package. Now, exporting this course package, it's going to open up the side menu. We want to click on the arrow icon here. And what that's going to do is prompt us to say, do we want the student activity? Now, if we want the student activity to maybe make an archive of what the students were doing in that particular term, we can do that. But we are wanting to use this archive file as a foundation to build upon for our spring term. So I'm going to go and hit no. Now, once that does that, it's going to start creating a file with all of the content in that file. They call it a common cartridge. You've seen this maybe as a QTI file, all kinds of files. But this is going to create a folder, a zip folder, that we are wanting to then move into our either master course shell, or we want to move this into our spring term. Now that the file is finished, we can see that it is available until December the 8th, which is 1 month or 30 days. It does explain that it is only available for 30 days. So we need to be strategic about what we do with this file. If we just keep it on this page, we can do that and always access it later. But what I'm going to do is simply click on the file itself, and you can see that it will start downloading to my computer. Now that I have it on my hard drive, I am then able to keep it for myself and have this archive file. I can then determine what I want to do with it. Now again, depending on if you are the lead faculty member that holds that master shell for maybe an online or a blended course, or you are a faculty member that has your own on-ground sections, it is different on what you're going to be doing with this. If you have your own sections that's maybe on ground and you're wanting to put all of your content that you created in fall into spring and start editing it and getting it ready for spring, you want to hold on to this archive file. And when you get your spring shell, you are going to go through the process that I'm going to walk you through now. If you are the master holder, the person that has the master shell, we want to put this archive file into that master shell, but that master shell has to be prepared for the file to be uploaded. So the next process I'm going to walk you through is cleaning up the shell, whether it's going to be your spring shell or the master shell, to get it ready for the content. We don't want to duplicate the content when we do this. We don't want to go and create multiples of the same thing. That's just going to confuse us along the way. So we want to clear out either the master shell or that spring shell when we get the spring shell To prepare it for the archive file, let's take a look. So once we have found the course that we are wanting to put the content into, we need to make sure that this course is completely cleared out. I do have some folders here from an old upload. I do have some announcements here. I do have some question banks under the question bank manager here. If you go into my discussions, I have an example discussion. If you look at my gradebook, I have some things there and maybe some messages that I have from individuals here. I do have this in a sandbox, but this could be your master shell or again, your spring shell when you receive that shell. In any case, I want to go ahead and start deleting these items out of these folders. So what I'm going to do is go to the very top, and under that same ellipsis where we exported the course package, we will find a batch editing tool. And we click on this, we can see that we have multiple folders here. And I want to make sure that I get all of the stuff out of the folders first before deleting this. This will allow us to get the stuff out of our gradebook and we can move forward. So I'm going to click on the title to open up that folder. We can see that there's subfolders, and I want to go ahead and select all of the content here. I'm going to move down to the bottom right-hand side and hit delete items. It says, are you sure you want to delete the multiple items? I'm going to hit yes. It's going to do its thing. It's going to delete those folders. And now we can go back by clicking the title of our course, and we can delete this folder. Same thing for this web links. I'm going to go ahead and click this to delete this folder and get that out of here. We also have the web links folder. We have 2 items in there. I'm going to select those and delete multiple items. Yes. Clear those out. Again, going back to the previous page, selecting delete items and delete. Now, as our home page, we can see that there's nothing there. I hit the red X, I go out to the content area, there's nothing here. Now, we do want to make sure that in doing this, we deleted out our discussion post. So we want to come to the discussion tab. We can see that it did not delete that. So we want to be able to click the 3 dots here and delete this discussion post. Are you sure you want to permanent delete it? Yes. We can see we have no discussions. We can go to the gradebook tab and see that we have the overall grade. We have an attendance here. I want to go ahead and delete that attendance just to make sure that it is cleared out. And also we can go to our messages, and we want to be able to delete these messages by finding the trash can right here and deleting those messages. So now we have the course content clear, discussions clear, gradebook clear. We only have this overall grade, and if we want to, we could go ahead and delete that. That is just our placeholder for how the grade is being calculated. We can also go to our messages and see that nothing is there. So the next thing that we want to do is make sure that our announcements are clear. Throughout the semester, we have been making announcements, whether those are candid announcements or they're time sensitive. We want to go into this announcement tab or this link and delete these announcements. Again, it's just one at a time. We're going to go in here and find the ellipsis and hit delete. We now see that we have no announcements, so we know that this course is ready to import that file. Now that we are ready to import the file, again, this is going to be in our master course shell, or when we get our spring course, we want to do this. We want to go up to the very top with that kind of edit or mass setting here, and we want to find import content. We click on import content, and we're going to see import course content. We want to click on this and find that export. You can see that it calls export file RSU. It will have your course ID. We want to select this file and hit open. Now, depending on how much content is going to be there, we want to give this its time to do its thing. It will get to this little meter at 100%. It also will put a gray box over here in the course content area, but we want to give it the time to do its thing to make sure that all the content moves over correctly. Now that the file has taken its time to upload to our course, we can see that we do have the content from our previous course. we want to go in here and make sure that all of the content has come over and has come through. And we'll do that by just opening up these modules and seeing, you can see that it says content items loaded. So it is loading things in. It does give us an error message down here. It says 6 items were not imported. We can click on this and it'll tell us exactly what items we have. It says 3 assessments. That's going to be any kind of gradable item, maybe a quiz or something. And it does say that we have chapter 1 quizzes, or chapter 1 tests, that they were not able to come over. So we want to make sure that we can either recreate those or go and try to export maybe those chapters and move them in accordingly. Now, in order to go back and get that chapter 1, again, we can go right to the course we want it to move into. We can find a plus sign and hit copy content. We can now go out there and find the course that we want to move it from, which is going to be my example course. We can go into the content area, or maybe it's a question bank. At any rate, we're going to go and find that chapter 1. Maybe it is in module 1. We can go down and find that item. Once we found that item, we can select on that item and hit copy selected content. So just know that you are still able to move something over between courses using this plus sign. So there you have it, a way to back up and archive the courses from this fall and moving into your master or your spring shell. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to sit down one-on-one with you. We can jump on Zoom and I'll be able to help you move some content and find out the best way to back up your courses and to get the content to your students this spring. Thanks for watching.